Hello, listeners, and welcome to Pop-Up Theatre's Dinner Theatre series, where we talk all things performing arts. Today, I'm chatting about the new musical Spooks, written and directed by Scott McQuaid. I'm Alexandria Kay, your host, and today, I'm joined in the studio by some of our wonderful cast, Lauren Ho and Lakshmi Ahrunagiry, as well as the musical's composer, Mr. Nick Choo. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Hello. So this musical is set to open in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia very soon on March 24th and will run for 6 nights over 2 weekends. I shall list further details like the dates and where to get your tickets at the end of the show. So, let's jump right in. Lauren, you play the central character, Drusilla.
Yeah, so I play Drusilla, who is the daughter of Dracula, and she is half human and half vampire. But her mother died a long time ago, and Dracula raised her in the human world. So now she's in her teen years, and they have returned to the monster realm to begin her senior year at Transylvania High. And that's literally how the show begins. The audience experience what she's experiencing as she enters this spooky world for the first time.
And just for the benefit of our listeners, the Spooks monster realm has all the classic characters in it like Frankenstein's monster, werewolves, zombies, witches, and all those familiar ghoulish characters.
Right.
Okay, so Lakshmi, tell us about your character.
I play the headmistress of the school. She's a very strict and intimidating character.
So, a headmistress then?
Yeah, pretty much. Although she's got different degrees of being strict. You know, she's more likely to feed you to a monster than put you in detention. She's somewhat combatant, you could say, with Dracula. She doesn't like that he's a celebrity and everyone adores him. And she's concerned about his daughter being at the school because she's not a full vampire. She's more human than monster. So this creates tension, but yeah, she's fun to play.
And this character actually opens the show.
Yeah. No pressure.
You'll be fine. Alright, so now let's talk the music. The musical's composer, Mr. Nick Choo, is sitting here very quietly in the corner. So now, Nick, you're a very established musical theatre composer based here in KL, and you've worked with just about every theatre company in Malaysia, I think, as well as some internationally. But what originally attracted you to musical theatre and to becoming a composer?
Well, firstly, I don't know if I've worked with practically everyone in KL. Maybe, but I don't know how true that is. But I would say that my love for musical theatre started at a very young age. When I was a teenager, I was very inspired early on by the works of Andrew Lloyd Webber. And I think he's the most prominent and prolific contemporary composer, especially in the 90s, you know. And those were the days before Spotify, before the internet. I remember just, buying CDs from Amazon.com in the late 90s, having, listening to cast recordings and just getting inspired by the kind of music, the mix of theatricality and drama and emotion that tells a story that really appealed to me. And so I was really influenced by Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera early on. There was also, in the 90s, a series in books, you can buy it in the bookstores, in newsagents. It was called the Musicals Collection. It was actually a book, a magazine, with a CD, and there was a whole collection of them. And so I remember buying those. The first one was West Side Story, the second one was Phantom, the third one was Oliver. I remember those 3, and just falling in love with musicals at the time. And I was probably 15 at that age. So yeah, that's where my love started from.
Wonderful. So this is your third musical with the writer and director of Spooks, Scott McQuaid, as well as your third working alongside CPAC, who are producing the show. The first 2 shows won accolades with the Bull Cameronian Arts Awards and also the Malaysian Book of Records. So, what makes this partnership so successful?
I think what makes this partnership really work well is that Scott, as the scriptwriter, as the visionary for the pieces, has a very clear idea of what he would like. And so he actually gives very clear, I wouldn't say instructions, they are instructions, but they're also suggestions where, what kind of influence the song should have, how long the song should be, what the song should be about. Everything is spelled out so clearly. In some cases, even reference to any ideas that they have in mind. It just makes composing and writing the lyrics such a breeze in that sense. Not to say it's not a challenge, but it makes it easy. The process is very easy. There's an open line of communication. Sometimes Scott or Melinda might say, maybe this doesn't work as well. Maybe try a different melody. And it's that easy. I think that's the key word is partnership, collaboration, and comfort, easiness.
Right. Okay, thank you, Nick. So this one's going to be a thinker. Why do we like musicals? What makes the general public flock to theatres on Broadway, in the West End, Sydney, KL, wherever really? Lauren?
Well, I like to think that musicals are magical because they're happening right in front of you. It's really more of an experience as opposed to just watching it on a screen or something. It's different than just like watching a movie. So essentially, it's that live aspect that really makes all the difference.
Yeah, and it's like escapism because musicals are larger than life, right? It's a break from what you know and see in life on a regular day. It evokes a different feeling for an audience and it kind of immerses them completely in a certain world.
And Nick, your thoughts?
Why do we like musicals? Who doesn't like music? Having said that, I think I read somewhere there are people in the world who don't like music. That's a very strange thing to think about, but it's true, and we respect that. But, most people like music. So that's, musicals have a universal factor already in music. That said, not everyone likes musicals, but why I like it and why a lot of people do like it is because, it's that mix of music as a means of storytelling, songs as a way of conveying plot, of conveying emotion, of conveying, action on stage, whatever goes on, that whole mix of different components. You have big spectacle musicals, and CPAC is great with those. Very bright, colorful lights and wonderful costuming and wonderful set pieces. It's a very entertaining visual and oral package for an audience. Then you also have those quieter musicals where music becomes emotional, it becomes evocative, provocative at times to make you think and question things, to challenge things that you may have perceived, perceptions. And I think that's just the beauty of musical theatre, that it both entertains and perhaps challenges you to think.
Right, yeah, definitely. So now, what about the ending? And I don't mean that as to start dropping spoilers or anything. I mean, there's something unique about this musical's ending, right?
Yeah, that's right. So this musical has an alternative ending. Well, not so much the ending, but the finale. So if you see it on the first week and then again on the second week, you'd have seen a different finale for each show.
Yep, so make sure you get your tickets for both weeks.
There you go, listeners. Now that's an excuse to buy 2 tickets or more. Now, the show runs for 6 nights on the 24th, 25th, 26th, and 31st of March, and the 1st and 2nd of April 2023 at the North Hall Theatre in Cempaka Cheras, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So if you're in the area, then grab your tickets. They're available now at cpac.com.my. That is cpac.com.my. I'd like to thank my guests, Mr. Nick Choo, Lauren Ho, and Lakshmi Ahrunagiry for sparing us a few today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. This has been Dinner Theatre with some of the cast and the composer of Spooks the Musical. To stay updated with Pop-Up Theatre's casting calls, information about upcoming shows, and more, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram at popup_theatre. Until next time, I bid you a fried night.